What's up, everybody? The race for the top four is coming down this weekend. Championship Sunday. No title to play for since City already locked that up a long time ago, but two spots are remaining in the Champions League in the top four of the Premier League. It's Leicester, Chelsea, and Liverpool, the three teams hoping to take two of those spots so they can confirm European football in the Champions League for next year. We still have West Ham, Everton, and Spurs who can still secure a Europa League spot, while Arsenal somehow can finish in 7th, where they would be in the Europa League Conference, or the Europa Conference League, this new league that they've added. It's like the third tier of European football. I mean, who really wants to be in it? But nonetheless, it's Europe. And Arsenal, on top of that, if they win their matchup against Brighton, will finish above Spurs, which will obviously make all of the Gooners very happy. Let's start with them. Let's start with Arsenal at the Emirates against Brighton. So I think this is going to be a tough matchup. No pressure on Arsenal, obviously, outside of finishing in the Conference League or finishing above Spurs. And usually when they play with the pressure off, they play much better, as we've seen in recent weeks. But it's going to be a tough matchup. Brighton, they're riding high. They just beat City 4-3. I think it was 4-3. I don't remember. They beat Manchester City 3-2. So they're riding high. Yes, Manchester City, they win a man down, but nonetheless, they still won that match in front of their fans, and they still play fantastic football. For Brighton, like Arsenal, the pressure is off. They're safe. They're going to be in the Premier League next season, so the players can play freely as Graham Potter wants them to play. But, like I said, Arsenal still have something to play for. It's going to be a tough matchup. I don't want to pick a winner here. I think it's going to be that close, but I do see goals. 4 goals total, Arsenal 2, Brighton 2. Aston Villa, Chelsea, probably one of the biggest matches of the day. Chelsea, they need to win. If they win, they secure a spot in the Champions League. Yes, if other things happen, like Leicester City lose, then Chelsea are in. But I don't think they want to leave that up to chance. And unfortunately for them, they have to field a strong 11. And I say unfortunately because the Champions League against Manchester City, that final isn't far away. So Thomas Tuchel, I'm sure, would rather put out a weakened side, but you need to secure top 4. That Champions League final, that Champions League win isn't guaranteed. So I think we'll see a strong team from Chelsea. And Villa, look, they cruise past Spurs. Let's be completely honest. When Jack Grealish is in that team, they are a completely different team. If he didn't miss, which I think it was like 15 games, which is a large part of the season, I think Villa would be in the running for one of these European spots. Not top 4, but maybe Europa League or even the Europa Conference League. I really think with him in the lineup, they're that good. So it's going to be tough. But with that said, I think Chelsea have been too good this season and continue to play well. Mason Mount, Timo Werner, yes, he misses a lot of chances, but he's creating a lot of chances as well. So I'm going to go Chelsea 2, Aston Villa 1. Chelsea gets into the Champions League. Fulham, Newcastle. This game could have been a winner-take-all relegation battle, which I love seeing at the end of the season. Who doesn't want to see two teams scrap it out to stay in the Premier League? But instead, it's a meaningless game. But I still think there will be goals. Newcastle, since they've been safe, knowing that they're not going down, they've played so much better attacking football. Miguel Almiron, Alan Saint-Maximin, Joe Willock, 6 goals and 6. He's a doubt for this match, but I think if he does play, he will score. I like Newcastle here. Sorry, Fulham, you're going to go down with a whimper. Fulham 1, Newcastle 3. Leeds against West Brom. How about Leeds? They just keep getting better and better, and their attack is wonderful. You have Jack Harrison who's clicking right now. Rafinha, Bamford is scoring goals. They have so much potential. There's so much attack. Stuart Dallas, Luke Ayling, Alioski on the other side, Tyler Roberts, Calvin Phillips, the Yorkshire Pirlo. And I think this is the most straightforward match of the weekend. I think Leeds win here, and they win big. Think about it. Leeds fans are back in attendance in the Premier League to see their team play in the Premier League for the first time in 16 years. There is no way Leeds are going to lose this game, and I think they're going to smash West Brom 5. And Big Sam's team, I'll give them 1 goal. 5-1 Leeds. Leicester City, Tottenham Hotspur. This one going on at the King Power Stadium in Leicester. So Leicester, they need to win and hope that Chelsea and Liverpool draw points. And I think they actually get the job done. If this was Spurs, maybe around Christmas or pre-Christmas, it'd be a different story. I think Spurs would be in contention to finish in the top 4, but they're not. They're just the complete opposite of what they were at that time. And Leicester, they're still riding high off that FA Cup win, and this could be an end to a fantastic season if they can add a top 4 finish, a spot in the Champions League next year to that FA Cup. I mean, it would just be a complete season for them, and I think they get it done. I really think Kelechi Iheanacho, Jamie Vardy, Yuri Tielemans, James Maddison, they're going to be way too much for for that Tottenham defense. I mean, they just look poor against Villa, and they continue to look poor. I mean, Eric Dyer just doesn't seem like he's really at it. The team, I think, against Villa were affected by the Harry Kane news, which I think could affect them on Sunday. So it's going to be a big ask for Spurs to go to Leicester and beat them. So I'm going to go Leicester City 3, Tottenham 1, and Jamie Vardy, he loves a goal against Spurs. I'd bet him anytime goal scorer, Jamie Vardy. Liverpool at home to Crystal Palace. So Liverpool somehow have gotten themselves back into the race, and they just need to match Leicester City's result to get into the Champions League, which is entirely possible. They're flying high right now. One of the best teams, the most informed teams in the Premier League, taking on Crystal Palace. Like many of the other teams on Sunday, have nothing to play for, but I still think that Palace will be up for it. It's Roy Hodgson, their manager's last game. There's going to be some fans in attendance. They're going to want to put in a performance, especially when you go to Anfield. Teams want to show up there. It's going to be difficult because Liverpool's going to throw everything at them, but I still think they make it competitive. I'm going with another 3-1 scoreline in favor of Liverpool. Mo Salah, he'll want that golden boot. At the moment, him and Harry Kane are tied on 22 goals. I think Salah takes it. I could see him scoring at least 2 here. Man City, Everton, it's going to be party time at the Etihad. I mean, City already locked up the league. The fans are going to be at the ground to see them lift the Premier League trophy once again. Pep is probably going to field a weakened side, which is still a strong side. I mean, Man City's B team is as good as any other first team in the Premier League at the moment. But there is some weaknesses there. And I think the biggest weakness is going to be Nathan Ake and Aymeric Laporte. If Pep Guardiola doesn't start Ruben Diaz and John Stones, that center back pairing has been incredible this season. But without them, they've struggled and they've let in a lot of goals. In that Newcastle matchup, Ake and Laporte, they really did struggle with crosses coming into the box. And that's something Everton thrive at. I think they have the most headed goals in the Premier League this season. So, with all that said, I think the lack of motivation to win this matchup by Manchester City, which I could be wrong, they might want to, show their fans out or finish off the season with a big win. But I think the lack of motivation there and the motivation for Everton to potentially finish an Europa League spot is huge. I think if there's any time to play them, it's right now. So I'm going to go with Everton 2, Manchester City 1. Sheffield United against Burnley. So it's sad to see Sheffield United head down to the championship the way that this season panned out for them, considering how well they played in that first season. But regardless, it might be a long time until we see them back. Hopefully I'm wrong because they have a great fan base. I love their team, great history, but it's just going to be tough. They need a new manager. They need backing from the board. Is that going to happen? We won't know. But regardless, Sheffield and Burnley, nothing to play for. Like I said, Sheffield going down. Burnley staying up once again thanks to Sean Dice. I'm not sure how this matchup is going to go. I don't want to call a winner, but I do think the fans will back Sheffield there. It's going to help them a lot, to be honest. I think they really missed them this season. So I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. Not the most entertaining match. West Ham, Southampton. Probably one of the biggest matches for West Ham in quite some time. 1 point is all they need to lock up 5th place, which means a spot in the Europa League. But it won't be easy. Southampton, a very good team. They're safe. They're not going to move up the table too much or too low with a win or a loss. So they're going to go out there and pretty much just play for pride. Let's be completely honest. And sometimes that's all you need. I think West Ham are going to win this game. I think they'll struggle a bit though because Southampton, they do press well, they counterattack well. 2 things that have hurt West Ham this season. But like I said, they just need a point. I think West Ham play a very conservative game, a very tight game, and hopefully nick one, maybe on the break or from a set piece, a classic. Well, this season, a classic Thomas Souček goal. So I'm going to go with West Ham 1, Southampton 0. And finally, Wolves against Manchester United. Manchester, reports are coming out that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, their manager, is going to field a heavily rotated team. We'll probably see a lot of youth on that side, considering that they have the Europa League final coming up, and they've already locked up 2nd place. So I think advantage Wolves. I mean, the bookies seem to think so as well. I think they're minus money at the moment. They're the favorite to play Manchester United. And I think there's a lot of motivation, there from Wolves, since we just heard that Nuno Espirito Santo, their manager, decided to leave while mutual consent between him and the club. And the fans are going to be there. I really think that's going to play into the hands of Wolves. Yes, they lack goal scoring, but they still have some players who can cause a weakened Manchester United team some trouble. One being Adama Traore. I think he finishes the season with a goal. I think Wolves win. He's going to wrap up the day 2-0 Wolves over Manchester United. All right, guys, that's it for the Premier League prediction, the final Premier League prediction of this season. I hope you guys enjoyed the games on this weekend. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. That really helps my channel. And stay tuned. Next week, I'm going to be starting my Euro Cup group breakdowns. I'm going to do breakdown for each group throughout the next couple weeks and do a huge prediction video, who I think is going to win, the Golden Boot, all that fun stuff. So stay tuned for that. So you got to subscribe and hit the bell thing, because then that lets you know the video's there.